Today we're going to be doing intermediate. I'm going to show you traditional grip and I'm going to show you bend. This is Clayton Skinner. Welcome to another episode of Beyond the Beat. Hello there. In this episode of Beyond the Beat, I'm going to teach you how to do a single drag tap. Don't let this rudiment fool you. It looks simple, but it can actually be quite tricky. A lot of people, when they're playing this, they ignore the rhythm and they just start, flailing wildly, adding accents here and there, and suddenly they're like, I can do it. No, you can't. It's very important that you pay attention to the rhythms. The rhythms are very simple, and because of that, a lot of people will take that for granted. So if you're looking at the first exercise, the one on the top, that is the real way the rhythm is written out, the basic way that's written out. It's essentially, the way I have it written is written out as a set of 4 eighth notes. Now this is a two-sided rudiment so that you can actually alternate your hands. So the basis of it goes like this. If you're looking at the first exercise, I have it right, left, left, right. So the first hit is obviously going to be a drag, followed by the opposite hand accenting heavily. Then pick it up again, continuing on, left drag, followed by an accented right. Now, it's important to remember that you accent notes that are supposed to be accented, and you don't accent notes that are not supposed to be accented. Basically the second hits, or the ands, if you were to count these out as 1 and 2 and, the 2 ands are accented, whereas the 1 and the 2 are not. They're played quietly. Another thing that you have to make sure that you play is you have to play the rhythm properly. The rhythm goes 1 and 2 and. So if you were to count that out, you could actually accenting the ands 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and so on and so forth. Make sure that you get that rhythm proper. If you're not doing that rhythm proper, you're not doing the rudiment right. So take your time with this. So here's one of the wonderful things about rudiments that you'll learn. Rudiments do not necessarily have to be played specifically with whatever rhythms that they're written out in. There is a basic form of the rudiment, which is what I gave you in the first exercise. That's the basic form. You should probably learn how to play that properly. And then you can actually take almost any rudiment, and you can actually change the rhythm in that rudiment. So long as you have the sticking patterns down, you can change. You could change the rhythms of the rudiment any way you like. So this is something that I'll probably elaborate on more later. I'll probably make some videos regarding how to apply rudiments to fills, and in which case you can then see how by simply changing the rhythm of a rudiment, still technically the same rudiment, it's just played different. So, second exercise on this page, I've taken essentially what we've done before with regular eighth notes, and I've made them into eighth note triplets. It might take you a second to kind of identify this. Basically, what you'll have to do in order to get a real translation of between exercise 1 and exercise 2 is you'd have to take the first hit out of the triplets and say that's a rest. Make that a rest, ignore that one. And so you're starting with the 2 quick left hits, and then that's where the rudiment would take off from. That would be the literal translation of it. But I decided to just start it as just straight triplets. So so here we go. I'll help you through this one. So the subject behind this is triplets. We're taking what was once regular eighth notes, and we're making them the triplets. But what I did here, technically the accents are in the same spots. Well, they are in the same spots. The only difference is that I decided to start it with an accented note. Anyway, I explained that already. Okay, so if you're looking at these exercises, you'll see that it's basically two groupings of triplets. The way we count triplets are 1 and 2 and The 1 and the 2, so the first notes in the two sets, are accented notes. The second notes, the ands, are the two grace note, kind of like the drags. So like left, left, and the other one is right, right. And then you follow that up with the opposite hand, which is not accented. And then follow that with the accented note, which would then be continuing on and playing it the opposite hand. So this is what happens. The and of the triplet is technically the drag. So you would technically pretend those are two notes that were really close together. You don't play them like that, but they're really close together. That would be your drag. And then the first note in the next set is the accent. So this is a bit tricky probably to decipher this. I'm probably not giving you any kind of help by explaining this because I'm really not good at this. So here, listen to this demonstration. Remember, it's a triplets, so we're going to want to make sure that we line the triplet up, line the accent up with the actual metronome hit. In the original one, the eighth note one, you're lining it up with the drag, and then that accented note is between the pulses of the metronome. This one, you're actually lining the accent up with the metronome hit, and you're playing triplets between that. So listen to how I'm playing this. Listen for the triplets and see if you could find where the rudiment, so the original rudiment, is played as the triplets. Remember, you want to start listening when you hear the drags. Okay, so anyway, listen to this demonstration, and I hope you understood what I was just saying.